Street lifting belts suck. That's why I had to make mine. This video I'm gonna tell you the 4 main components a belt should have in my opinion. The main functionality, the belt itself, the chain, and how you attach the chain to the belt. Dear fellow street lifters, welcome in a new video. I'm Alex Delta, street lifting coach. So, why do belts suck usually? Well, first, there's no street lifting belt really. You can find something like this on Amazon, but I'll show you in a second why those belts aren't enough. So the real requirement a belt should have is that it should hold the weight you're using easily. Enough weight for me is more than 200 kilos. 200 to 250. The belt should be able to not break with this kind of weight easily, okay? That must not be the very limit. There are some people that are already close to dipping 200 kilograms, and I believe nobody's gonna go above 250, and for sure not by a lot. But if we wanna have a single belt for all the competition in the world with a strict regulation, the main component should be that it can hold that kind of weight. I don't think it's that hard. Like the Rogue belt is rated for something like 5 tons. Yeah, something insane. So it's not that hard, but still my belt was starting to break up when I loaded 120 kilograms. So here, this is my belt. Here are the rings that started opening up when I loaded too much weight on this side. So I had to weld them. Now they can't open, basically. So just a simple modification. If you are buying a belt from Amazon, is all you need. A belt with a closed ring and not an open one is much stronger. Let's say many belts can hold this kind of weight, but a big thing for me was comfort. Okay, the belt must be comfortable when you're loading a ton of weight. The one I use is from RDX and it's pretty comfortable. I don't really remember the model. This is the one. It's the bit more expensive version, maybe 30 euros. It doesn't need to be super heavy duty because all that weight is gonna subtract from your lifts, basically. And I really don't think you need a belt that weighs 2 kilograms. So my whole setup weighs around 700 grams and can easily hold any weight. So anyway, this belt isn't perfect, but it does the job for me at least. I'm sure that if a manufacturer would focus on the things that I'm saying right now, you could have an even more comfortable belt, more resistant, can hold more weight, and is still light. Okay, let's talk about chains now. I mean, I don't need to tell you anything. Look at this shirt. Look here. I don't know if you can see it. So yeah, chains do the job, but they're gonna ruin everything you're using. From your clothes for sure, and they also can ruin your plate sometimes. That's why I switched to ropes. So this is a cheap rope. It's around 1 centimeter thick. Do you know how hard it is to break this thing? Do you know how much weight it would take to break this? So it's very resistant. What I did is I bought 10 meters of rope and I've built 3 ropes of different sizes. A short one that I use for muscle ups, a medium one that I almost never use, and a long one for the rest of the exercises. It's useful to have different lengths because, you know, in the muscle up it's usually more comfortable to have the weight closer to you so it doesn't smash on your legs when you're taking a swing. But it's also comfortable to have a long rope when you have a lot of weight attached to it, because the closer it is to your body and the more you have to open your legs, the more uncomfortable it is. Also when you have to stand up from the ground, when there's a ton of weight, if you're already almost standing up, it's a lot more comfortable and easier. And another advantage is that it's much lighter than a chain, especially those heavy duty chains that I keep seeing in competition that can hold 2,000 kilograms literally, and there's no purpose for it. Why would you do that? Why would you choose to lift a lot less weight for no reason, basically? I think it's a win-win for sure, even for competitions. I think everybody should switch to ropes because they won't break your clothes, they won't ruin your discs. They're very strong and still they're very light. So last thing is, how do I connect the rope with the belt? But first, if you're finding this video useful, give it a like. Come on, it really helps with YouTube. Okay, done? Let's continue. This will be our friend. Now, carabiners. Usually belts have one or two. I'll put here some pictures. For the chain I'm using right now, when I bought it, it was only one carabiner. The chain was directly attached to the belt, so I couldn't take it off. Okay, I couldn't. And there was another small carabiner on the other side that I could pass them through the weight and attach it. Very uncomfortable. And the problem was that if I wanted to stand up when I needed to rest between sets, I had to take the chain off every time. So that's the problem. Option one is to stay attached, stay low on that weight. Usually the chains are very short too, so it's very uncomfortable. And the option two is to take the chain off and walk around. The problem is that when you need to do the second set, you have to pass the chain through every weight. If you're doing quite some weight, above 100 kilograms, that's super annoying. And that's why I use 6 carabiners instead of 1 or 2. So the first 2 are attached to the chain, to the rope. So that's my way to attach the chain to the belt. You can really use anything here, a ring or whatever. I closed it, so I never opened those. They're fixed. So even if these are very small, they can hold a lot of weight. They won't break for sure. And remember that the weight is always distributed on 2 carabiners. So even if you have 200 kilograms, you'll have 100 here and 100 here. And trust me, those won't break with 100 kilograms. Then I have 2 bigger carabiners, like this one, to easily hook the rope to the belt, like this. I chose bigger ones because it's got to be comfortable. This one is probably 20 grams, and if you read here, it's rated for 12 kilonewtons, so it's around, what, 10 tons, something like that. So yeah, this for sure won't break. Very light, very easy to open. It's easy, it's quick. You can even do this with one hand, but that's an extra, and so that's what I use. And the last carabiner is this one. So I use 2 to just help me hold the belt on myself when I've no weights attached to it. So take a look. See how the belt stays on? And it's very comfortable. So you don't even have to take the belt off. Really, what I do is I finish the set, detach the chain from both sides, walk around with my belt on, and then when I'm ready, I just hook it again and I'm ready. Even if I have 200 kilograms there, it's super quick. So final setup looks something like this. We've got the belt on with the 2 carabiners free, the orange ones, and when needed, I just do this. I have the weights here and this, ready. I do my sets, dips, whatever. 1, 2, done. I'm free to walk around, I'm free to rest in a comfortable way, even if I have a ton of weight there. This system is light, it's comfortable, it's super quick, and I hope that someday this sport will find an accordance on an official belt that everybody will have to use in competition, and I hope that belt will be light, strong and comfortable like this one that I'm using right now.